let's talk about DeAndre Ayton first, mainly because he's kind of the focal point of their offseason. He is a restricted free agent, and there's been some drama, like he maybe doesn't feel as respected or wanted as he could be by the Suns and their front office and their coaching staff and whatever teams. If DeAndre Ayton is even a little bit available, teams are going to be lining up to get him. One of those teams might be our Toronto Raptors in a potential sign and trade, Pascal Siakam and
It just doesn't happen. Like sign
yeah.
in trades, you don't get a player better or a higher value that what you're trading away, right? Like
Mm-hmm. So
Pascal
who do
Siakam,
you that's the question. Who do you think is who's the better player and who's the higher value
Pascal,
player? Okay,
Pascal's
yeah,
an
I agree. I
all
agree. I
NBA
agree. Okay,
player.
okay.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
we're talking about Aiton's potential because he's 23 and all that stuff. No one's slotting him in to become an all NBA center. We're slotting him in to become an all-star center.
Sure.
So at his highest potential, we have him under Pascal Siakam. So unless the Suns throw a couple picks in, like this trade and this scenario is not happening. I feel like
Mhm.
it's just Suns players that are like, oh, the Raptors need a center. We could use some extra playmaking and the versatility that Pascal Siakam brings.
Mhm.
Let's make this trade happen.
Yeah.
Oh, like Pascal Siakam's a better, arguably a better rebounder, better playmaker, better scorer, better defender come playoff time, 100%, better
Mhm.
switchability, versatility. Uh, and he's just someone you can make offense for. You don't need to like you don't need a guard creating offense for him. Someone that can bring the ball up the court, which is very important. Like DeAndre Ayton needs a guard to bring the ball up the court for him.
Mhm.
So it's just a very lopsided sign and trade. And unless the Suns add a couple of picks, it's not happening.
I'm with you. I mean, you asked me, would I want DeAndre Ayton on
Oh,
my
for sure.
team? Yeah. Like you, it's hard to draw up a more current NBA prototype kind of archetypal center than DeAndre Ayton. You know, he's
Yeah.
super athletic. He could rebound better, like you said, but you could, in the right system, putting him in the right situations could turn into maybe not an all NBA center, because all NBA centers are the Jokic's, the Embiids, the Towns, who could
Yeah.
carry an offense by themselves. Right? He's not probably ever going to be that guy. But you asked me if I want him on my team. Yeah, I do.
Sure.
But straight up, no chance. I would definitely need more on their side. I mean, if I wouldn't be upset if, say, they added, 2 first round picks or whatever. Like, I think
Yeah.
if I saw that trade, I'd be like, okay, we got Ayton at center, we got Scottie at the 4 and OG at the 3. It kind of all fits together. But value wise, I'm totally with you. Pascal Siakam's only what, 27, 20? How old is he?
Yeah. He's
28.
still in his 20s,
He's
28.
still
Yeah.
got a couple years on that contract. He's his value is he's a better player than Ayton, and he's not even old, so I would say his value is probably even better than Ayton because, like you said, how many All NBA, 2-time All NBA guys realistically
Yeah.
are you gonna be able to trade for? Not too many.
Yeah. And like a more realistic sign and trade target is like Jeremy Grant,
Mm.
someone who's like all-star caliber.
So if it's between Jeremy Grant and Pascal, whose value do you think Ayton is closer to, Jeremy Grant or Siakam?
Well, like it's Grant because it's a sign and trade. So when you sign and trade someone away, you always get the lesser player back, like the team. Like when Golden State signed and traded away Kevin Durant, I know he was an unrestricted free agent. People are gonna bring
Mhm.
that up, like, but like every sign and trade is not real. It's not a fair value. It's not equivalent exchange. It's not a normal trade. You're gonna get back a lesser player, even if he's a restricted free agent, and
Mhm.
that's why you're gonna get back Grant. But with the think Grant trade, you don't have to add picks. It's just gonna be straight, right?
See, I agree that usually in a sign and trade, you do typically get the lesser player. You look at, like you said, Kevin Durant. You look at Kyle Lowry. I mean, you could
Yeah.
argue is Precious Achua and
Let me
who's the lesser player there. I don't know, but you typically do get pennies on the dollar in term when you do sign and trades. But I think it's a little different for a restricted free agent because the team is kind of in the driver's seat, don't you think? Because if they decide to match his contract, they just decide, like, it's not really, he doesn't really have too much of a
I,
say, so they can kind of they have they have a better hand, I think, in this
as
situation.
they get Detroit's like, all right, match the contract, pay him max. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Come talk to us off season. He
good
doesn't want to
point.
play with you guys. Play him a max and then we'll talk to him in the off season. All right,
Yeah.
we'll talk to him, in the trade deadline. They're not really like
Mhm.
we're gonna offer him a max if you don't, and if you don't want to pay him a max, he's
Yeah.
gone. He's gonna be on a max contract. You can either have Grant and help facilitate us getting him, or you could just pay him a max.
Mhm.
So they're not really in like a win-win spot, right? It's either
True.
they trade him or they pay him a max.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here so you never miss the best clips from Stretch the Floor. Hit the links in the description below to find us on all podcast platforms, and follow us on Instagram.